Hey everyone, it's CL and today is June 13th. We just completed week 2 of the Hot and Sticky Summer Writing Challenge and I am considering every Monday the start of a new week. Going into the challenge, I knew that there would be life stressors somewhere along the lines, but I was not anticipating that those life stressors would come along in week 2. Not only during week 2 was I pretty sick, but I got a call from my brother at 4 in the morning letting me know that my dad was administered into the hospital. And when you have parents that are getting older, every time you get a phone call, especially one at 4 in the morning, you can't help but wonder if it's that call, you know? And those with aging parents will know exactly what I mean by that. And mind you, my dad is someone that has already had a triple bypass and a quadruple bypass. I did not think that was possible, but it is possible. And he's already had a stroke before. So when my brother called me, he initially thought that maybe my dad had had a stroke. But thankfully, after 2 days of running tests, they determined that it was most likely a pretty severe allergic reaction. And in comparison to how bad it could be, I'm happy with that. It was a bad allergic reaction, but I'm happy that it wasn't something that would need long-term recovery, because that's always very hard. So my dad is now home. He was discharged yesterday. They live on the West Coast, I live on the East Coast, so in a few hours I'm gonna go call my dad and see how he's doing. But it does put a lot in perspective that I need to pop over to the West Coast to visit my family sometime this year. But other than that, week 2 I missed probably 3 days of writing, being sick and things happening with my dad. But I am not behind. That I am very proud about. I'm still 1,400 words above the word count where we should be. I did not do any writing yet as of today. It's still early in the morning. I will do my writing once I'm done with work and all that. But yeah, overall week 2 was rough. It was mentally rough, but I'm hoping week 3 will be pretty boring and standard and nothing crazy will be going on. But one of the things I was able to do in week 2 is that I was able to read back one of my old short stories that I wrote 3 years ago. And mind you, this is a story that at the time I thought was the best thing ever. I thought I did a really good job and it was really well written. Reading it back, I kind of cringe because there's a lot of things that I would have done differently. I noticed that I hit a lot of cliches in that story, as if I was like checking off a cliche checklist. I hit so many cliches, and also I noticed that I rushed some parts that I now wish I could go back and flesh out better. And I think what's good about reading something you've worked on from years ago is being able to take those shortcomings as lessons learned. So for my novel that I'm working on today, I know to avoid cliches and to make sure I spend enough time on each chapter, that each chapter is getting equal attention, and that I'm not rushing through it because I'm almost done type thing, you know? But reading my story from 3 years ago, even though it did have shortcomings, one of the things I was very proud about was how I laid out my storyline, how it started off and the climactic scenes and how it all wrapped up in the end. I was really happy with how I did that, which makes me feel more confident in the novel that I'm writing now and how I'm laying out my story, that hey, you can do this, you've done it before, you can do it again, and that makes me feel more confident in that sense. So yeah, a lot of lessons learned, but also a few things that I'm happy about. So if you have the opportunity, I highly recommend that you read some of your past works and kind of look for those lessons learned and to watch out for them when writing your novel. We all have shortcomings, but it's good to try to improve your writing each time. So with that, we are going into week 3. The distractions for week 3 for myself, I think my week is pretty clear, except I have my daughter's graduation sometime this week, and I used to be that person that thought kindergarten graduation was the total joke until I had a child of my own. And especially, not only do I suffer from severe anxiety, my daughter as well suffers from severe anxiety, and I know what it's like to be in an unfamiliar place, to feel uncomfortable all of the time. And she was on her own the majority of the day for a whole school year, and I'm very proud of her. It's a milestone. It is a milestone, especially when you have anxiety. So I am doing something very special for her on her graduation day. And yes, it is kindergarten. I don't want anybody trolling in the comments saying it's not a big deal. It's a big deal to me, and therefore I care. So other than that, week 3, good luck everyone. Keep writing. If you are someone that hit a writing slump, pick yourself up, set yourself at your computer, and keep writing. Don't give up. Don't give in to the negative voice in your head. We're all rooting for you. So please keep writing, and I will keep you guys updated on how week 3 goes.